Hello, greetings from AMI. As I was saying, I'm from AMI. It's just my 6th day at AMI, so I'm as new to you as on that. Right, so it's my great pleasure to address you this morning and to welcome you to this opening of the 3-day workshop on open data. In fact, yesterday we had the breakfast meet with the various media leaders and the various media owners, and I think it was very well attended, and it also provided what one calls important food for thought on how open data can actually drive and ultimately implement that method of data-driven journalism in the various newsrooms. In fact, when I was browsing through the workshop program, one gets a feel of how much energy that the organizing team has put to actually bring and conceptualize the whole idea of this 3-day workshop. The various sessions speak to themselves, and I think there's an emphasis on practical, hands-on training, and I think this is very important to build what we call critical skills for you to be able to harness this enormous amount of data that exists across the world and also in your country. All right. Referring to the thematic itself, open data journalism, I think there are 3 important concepts linked to that: open, data, and journalism. And when we look at the idea of openness, I think it's the hallmark of contemporary societies. And it's also very important in terms of progress in societies that open up their data, that open up their societies, so that you can engage in a much more meaningful and relevant way. The second element, data. I always try to grapple with the word data, because data very often is a very homogeneous sort of block of ideas, of concepts, of words, of conversation. But I think for it to be meaningful, you need to be able to know how to extract it. You need to have the necessary tools, you need to have the necessary analysis to do so, and I think today's workshop is actually just doing so. And the third element, journalism, because I come from academia. I taught journalism back home in Mauritius, and you always say it's a craft, it's a trade, but more importantly, provides you with the necessary methodology to be able to understand, interpret, and contextualize events, themes, and processes. So you can, when you bring these 3 concepts together, open, data, journalism, you have a very, very powerful concept. So, when we look at the literature around, being an academic, I'm always very obsessed with looking at the literature. When you look at the literature around open data journalism or data-driven journalism, you can see that there is a lot of case studies, there's a lot of literature that actually speaks to the fact that whether open data journalism is where the future of journalism actually lies. Right? So I think there is a lot of value in investing in the necessary strategies and the necessary processes around that.